Hi, my name's Joe. I work as part of the IFS team here at IT Works Recruitment. I thought I'd jump on here today to have a discussion regarding a case study of a customer that we've recently supported. For hiring managers that are on the search for talent, we understand that there's huge pressure on finding the right people. Here at IT Works, we put people at the heart of everything we do. So I'm going to talk a little bit further today around a project which we engaged on with a customer who was partway through an IFS Apps 10 implementation, which was multi-company and multi-site. By their own admission, it was a failing project and they brought somebody in and were looking for a resource partner that could act as a system integrator and truly understand their business needs to deliver them the right people at the right time. The client in question hadn't recently used our services, however, they had engaged with us on previous projects in the past, so we're familiar with the sort of services that IT Works could offer. When they reached out, we were quick to set up a meeting to discuss their resource needs and understand exactly what it is that they needed in greater detail. So it became clear that the customer had a number of frustrations from their current resource partner, from their initial implementation, their project resource, how the system was set up, and everything down to end user adoption. So the current partner provided them with some freelance resource IFS solutions, and they were being charged a premium for that service. With cost rocketing, the business was pouring money into sparse resources that were barely plugging some of the gaps. This was exposing them to a whole host of problems. The reality was that resource speed of delivery was at an all-time low, whilst their need for an increased headcount was at an all-time high. Because the business hadn't been able to get the right people in at the right time, go-lives were pushed back and they started looking for an alternative solution. I think during one point within their IFS implementation, the go-live was at that point pushed back around 18 months, which isn't ideal for anyone. During this process, the operations of the business had been significantly affected. What this meant was that if some areas of IFS weren't implemented properly, or it was taking them too long in order to do so, this trickled down to everybody from all levels of the business, whether that be the key stakeholders or the people down to the manufacturing shop floor. What came out of the back end of this was that end user adoption was at an all-time low. The members of the staff, the members of the team, no matter which level of the business they were in, just had a negative view of IFS and the culture around ERP, which is what should have been an exciting new cloud implementation of a modern technological advancement within the business, was soon seen as a bit of a thorn in the side, and people's reliance away from IFS was still there, whether that be Excel spreadsheets or their own legacy previous ERP system. So at that point, the business knew that they needed to do something severe in order to bring in some new external resources to really kick the business into gear and kick the resource plan back to where it needed to be. So on that note, for our client, one of the only ways forward was to look for a new IFS resource partner. Myself here at IT Works and the rest of the IFS team tendered and put together a bid for full project delivery of the phase 2 project. Up against us at that moment in time were 4 IFS channel partners. However, operating solely within the freelance market, what it allowed us to do is within a very short time frame, be able to turn around up to 12 resources, work fluidly across the marketplace, and be way more reactive than people who only have permanent staff in order to pick from. I mean, myself here and the rest of the IT Works team, or the IFS knowledge within our marketplace, runs nearly 20 years deep, which means that we have the ability to reach out to some corners of the IFS market across some more niche skill sets, which other people perhaps don't. So on that basis, we put together our full tender of 12 IFS specialist resources within the space of about a week, and that was a turnaround which was completed just by myself, along with one of the IFS contract specialists here. It took the other IFS partners between 2 and 3 weeks in order to put together a full resource plan, and I was told that during that process there were still some gaps missing. Now, the bid process was ongoing for around 2 months, so which we had to go through a number of different rounds, from speaking to the direct hiring managers, from speaking to some of the contractors that they've currently got in post within key roles like solution architecture and project management, all the way through to some of the key stakeholders within the business, from the operations director, the CFO, and finally the managing director. So as we went through this 2-month bid process, It came out at the end of it that IT Works was successful and we won the full project delivery of resources into the phase 2 project across 2 of the groups of businesses, which was fantastic. We got some great feedback at that moment in time that they were impressed by IT Works' adaptability, flexibility and reactivity when it came to the resource planning, as we were able to pivot, like I said, quite fluidly across a number of different business functions, whether that be functional, whether that be technical, or no matter how niche the skill set really. So great news was that they remarked that they felt as though IT Works was acting as a real system integrator and that they had a resource partner that they were really working in partnership with, as opposed to your traditional IT recruitment business that work on contingent services all the time. What I was really keen on though is operating in a way where I felt as though we were connecting speed of delivery with quality of service and really marrying the two up to make sure that the customer got the best resource that was available at that moment in time within the market for a competitive price. So, as with all good stories, there is a happy ending. So we've been working with this customer for around 12 months now. And the resource team internally continues to grow. The progress which is getting made on the project continues to move forwards, and continuous feedback is coming back from the customer and different hiring managers and different workstream leads that the resource that IT Works is providing are an integral part of their business's success within their new ERP project. We are continuing to work in partnership with this business, and we have just actually sat down a couple of weeks back and discussed their resource plans for Q1 and Q2 2023. Now, it looks exciting, and I have no doubt that we will continue to build on this relationship and nurture it moving forwards. So if you feel as though you are a customer that find themselves in a similar situation to this, or you have a big scary IFS implementation coming up, a new upgrade project, you don't know where to turn in regards to cloud, or you just want to do some system enhancements on a legacy version of IFS, just reach out. We are best positioned within the marketplace in order to ensure that you get the right resource at the right time for the most competitive rate. So yeah, thanks guys for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.